Today is boxing and shipping day, my least favorite day, but probably the most important step in the process. Hello, my friends. It has been a little while because I've been sick. You might have been able to tell from my last video or two that I was kind of congested up here, my nasal area, and I'm still dealing with that. I was actually on antibiotics for a little while, but I'm back, mostly. And this isn't, maybe artistically speaking, the most exciting subject to talk about, although I am definitely working on art. Little half glimpse there. I'll talk about that for a minute. But first I just wanted to just kind of check in, show you what I'm up to. I recently got in a gallery in South Carolina, in Charleston, which I'm really excited about. And I've been in the Charleston market before, and it was phenomenal. What a ride. It was awesome. Did so well. And I don't know if I'll do as well this time. I have high hopes. But anyway, with being sick and being so behind on everything, I feel it necessary to just like really devote myself to getting these darn paintings out. I've already shipped 6. They were small, so that was relatively easy to do. But shipping large paintings is actually very difficult. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a couple things. So this is a very nice box that I've purchased. It's by Strongbox or Airfloat. I'm actually not quite sure what the company's name is. But I'll open it up here, show you why it costs approximately $200 for this thing. So not only is it really thick cardboard, sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, but it also comes with this thick plastic liner. I think it's, I don't know what kind of plastic, but that makes it kind of puncture proof, so like it would be very difficult for a forklift or just anything, someone's foot, to go through it. It also has this what do they call it, eggshell or egg crate foam, and as well as an inside piece that you can custom fit the painting to go in here. And it's awesome, but I bought this box. I'll close it up later. Again, I'm one-handed here. So I bought that box for $200 approximately. I can't remember exactly what it was, but a lot of the shows that I enter on a regular basis require nowadays for you to package the paintings in these things. Luckily, I get the box back afterwards, but there is a little bit of an investment up front. So where in places where I'm not required to do that, however, I always make my own boxes. And it does save a lot of money, but it's not a process that I particularly enjoy. So I'm basically making several boxes for each and every painting that I ship. Whoops, or set of paintings that are similarly sized. So I've made this box. I've just out of pieces of cardboard that I get. Well, these ones happen to be from Sam's Club. Went in there and just asked them if they would give me any flat cardboard that they hadn't squished yet. So I built my boxes out of that. These two 24 by 36 paintings, which added up are pretty heavy. So they're sandwiched in there, front to front, so the painting to the painting face to face, with a 1-inch piece of foam in between them, and then I've got foam around them inside this box, and then I placed that box inside another homemade box. Oops. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Whoops. Again, one-handed here. And then I'm placing this 1-inch foam around the sides, and I'm not going to do it on the fronts because again they're face to face. There is a huge airspace, a couple inches between the back of the frame and the back of the painting. So there's an airspace in there. I'm gonna just trust that the people who work for FedEx or UPS, however I decide to send this, are not going to step on it. That would be very bad form. And I've never had a problem with it before, but I mean, there's always that risk. And I do not purchase insurance for my paintings. I have 2 or 3 times in the past, just when the painting's already paid for, and it would be a huge burden to have to pay that money back after I've already begun to spend it, of course. And so in those rare cases, I'll actually buy insurance through my home insurance company, and it's called a rider, and it's actually very, very expensive. But in those cases, it's worth it. And it's never worth it, in my opinion, it's never been worth it to me to purchase additional insurance to cover the painting. Number one, because usually they won't cover it anyway, because it's fine art and its value is somewhat arbitrary. And unless you have an actual receipt showing that it is sold for a certain amount of money, and that's verifiable through like a gallery or a museum or something like that, they won't cover it. So unless you have that, as well as 2 inches of foam packing around the painting itself, so it has to fulfill both of those requirements, then they'll think about paying you for it. As it is, I always just purchase the kind of like bare minimum amount of insurance, just $100, in case if they did just totally lose it, then I lose out on that deal, but at least I'd get $100. Consolation money, I guess. But again, I've never really had a problem with it. And when I've purchased those expensive riders, I've never had a problem either, so I didn't have to really take advantage of it. But anyway, it's just a couple of the little things that you have to deal with when shipping paintings, particularly large ones. Again, it's kind of a pain. The bigger the painting, the more likely it is to get damaged when dropped because it's heavier. Little paintings, I can sandwich in, painting, then foam, then painting foam, and stick them in a little box and then put foam all around, and you could drop that thing off of a second-story building and it would probably just be fine. The box would show wear, but not the paintings themselves. But this is a whole different ballgame. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing today, and I really don't like shipping days because it's such a pain. It just takes up the entire day. I'd much rather do something creative. But then again, once I get into actually like creating this box, I would say like engineering the box, because it's quite a feat. But it actually becomes a little bit fun, and by the end of the day, after I've kind of like hated the whole day, I look back and I think, actually that was kind of fun, I wouldn't mind doing that again. And then of course it's a week or 2 or sometimes much longer before I have to do it again. It seems like the longer I wait in between shipping days, the more difficult it is to swallow and to want to do it. I have a tendency to put it off, and with my tendency to put it off, as well as my sickness, I'm really behind, and I just am eager to get these things shipped out. So I'm now finishing up this outer box with its foam around the sides, and I only have this last little corner to fix up. I decided on this one to just double up on the thickness, because there was a seam there already on this box, whatever it was, a box for paper plates. And so all I do is just put this actually on the inside and then tape it together in as many ways as I can, and fold the tape over on itself and do all kinds of things. And then I'll measure it, and I find it easier to put it together first and then measure and cut for the extra pieces like this. And I'll just make sure that it's the same height on this side as it is on that side, and I'll kind of ignore this one in this case, because it's shorter, but it's thicker. And then I'll put a lid on that, essentially. So what that means is I make a whole nother one of these, but I do that by, and this is not the piece that I'll use, because this one is not quite big enough. Yeah, it's not quite big enough. But I basically just laid it on top, and you can kind of see the lines are running this way. And so, use my foot here. I'll first, thank you, Banjo. I'll first do that on both sides, there and there. And that's pretty easy. And then by doing that, I already know, oh, thank you. I already know that it fits that way. And actually, I could use this piece, and what I would do is just bring it down further this way and bend it on both of those sides so that I know that it fits as a lid. It's long enough to technically cover it, but it's not, I feel like it's not quite long enough to go all the way around, because I'd like to have it go all the way down to the bottom. I think that one will work. I think we'll try that piece. And then I have to do that, then I have to do this whole process for that painting, because it's just a little bit bigger. And I would have loved to have gotten them all in one package, but I think all of them put together would have made it just a little bit above their maximum size before it goes up into like freight charges, which is very expensive, like $200 extra just right off the bat before they even deal with actual size and everything. Size charges, I should say. So anyway, so that's what I'm putting together. And after that, I'll put them in the car, head out to the city, combine that with some other errands. And I'll usually do it like all my art errands all in one day. That way I'll write off the mileage for the trip into town. And well, this one just to the
Logan.
Mm-hmm. So just bring it, anyway, write it off as one big trip, spend a few hours downtown just getting everything done all at once. And that's how my shipping days are. So they're
literally like gone all day.
I know, I hate it. I'll try not to be gone all day this time. Actually, most of the day is gone already just from me packaging this. So that's how shipping days go. They're my least favorite days, but they're probably, when it all comes down to it, I don't know, that's you know, shipping work, that's the most important part of the process. Well, I don't know. I guess every part of the process is the most important part, because without any piece of the process, it wouldn't work at all. Obviously, without the painting itself, the process wouldn't even begin. So who knows what the most important part is. But the reason I have a tendency to say that is the most important part is because it is the most difficult part to follow through on. And there are a lot of artists out there that create great work, but they never get to that shipping day. And if that describes you, I encourage you to go through whatever steps will lead to that shipping day. Make a relationship with a local restaurant, a hotel, or gallery. Gallery's even better because they specialize in art. Someplace that'll, or your great aunt Edna that owns a nice house in the city and is willing to invite her friends over to see your work. Do something that will, you know, get your work in front of people. And shipping day in that case would just be driving those paintings over to your Aunt Edna's house. But I think you get what I'm saying. Just go through that, lead up to that step that gets your art in front of other people. So that's my encouragement for today. And I will talk to you again soon about art, but I have to apologize for something real quick and show you. I guess it's not really an apology as much as an explanation. In my previous video about framing, I told you I had an outline of this, and then the next day I thought, yeah, I'll just choose a color for that. I didn't really feel like getting into it, and I ended up completely finishing the block in. Well, and actually, honestly, really finishing a good portion of the painting. I didn't spend any time on the hands or the face just yet, so maybe that'll be my next video. But I thought for my next video, maybe I'll redo that same color scheme and same style of painting, but as a companion piece to that. That way I get two different paintings out of this experience, and you get to watch me do one and bring it from this, which is an old idea that I cut up into smaller pieces, into, you go from that, so basically the beginning, to a finished painting, and maybe I'll finish them both at the same time. Anyway, that's the plan. We'll see if I follow through as planned, and if not, I'll give you something else that'll be interesting to see. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.